Yeah, Canderous has a whole thing. Maybe we can talk to Canderous again. We'll just do one last try. I don't know why they still show up as quests. Maybe there's something else we can do with Juhani at some point. I don't really know, but we'll go around. We'll talk to everybody.
Yeah, what are you?
We'll do one more.
This thing with Johnny.
Okay, didn't work.
Is there something else you wanted?
Because it's been a little bit.
Your choice.
Actually, has it been? No, I think it has been. I think it's been like 2 episodes back. Assuming this is the same. I have no way of knowing. But it's like 2 or 3 episodes back when we did that. So I'm going to talk over the cutscene, but I'm going to leave it in. I think. Did I save? God damn it. It's hard for me to remember, but I've already been sitting here like doing this for. Yeah, I think so. Okay. Starforge system. We're going back here. We might get attacked upon traveling to planets. It's kind of random if we get attacked or not. So it's not a big deal. Oh, I might be able to. I don't know if the video is going to look a little better here, but I'm trying something different with my recording settings. So I hope it looks a little better. I haven't been super happy with the way the actual finished products have been turning out, especially this series. I think it looks kind of, there's like some motion blur, it's a little jittery, it doesn't look that great. So I'm trying something new to see if I can fix that issue. So if it looks better, then great. If it doesn't, then shit. Okay, right, so we should remember all this. I'm still gonna talk over it. But I'm gonna leave it all in. Yeah, so if anyone's wondering about that quest, just try that. If it doesn't work, you still, like, there shouldn't be any glitch to prevent that from happening. It just might take a while, it seems, so, that's really the only thing there, but yeah. We've done every quest. We're on our way to the end. We're in endgame now. I haven't looked at anything past, like, the 4 planets, so I don't know much else other than I have done the quests on all those planets that I possibly could do, and the character quests as well, so I don't know anything past this point. Just to subvert those fears. Yeah, but since I've had a while to sit here, I was like reading some stuff on Reddit. Because like there's a lot of loading screens, there's a lot of traveling between planets, so I like loaded up Reddit and like read some stuff. I don't usually spend that much time on Reddit, but today I was like, had some downtime, and I didn't want to like, the other option was I play music or I play some video to like listen to sort of distract myself while I waste all this time. But because it could happen at any time, I didn't want to like have a music playing or something over that, so I didn't do that. And I was like, I'll just read something instead. But I was reading this thread. I think it was like an Ask Reddit thread. I don't know how I came across this, but it was like an Ask Reddit thread about how like computers work when they like delete something from a computer. And I remember somebody asking this question on a forum once, and I answered it because I knew how this worked according to my understanding of it. And I was reading this thread, and they said exactly the same thing that I said. But the problem was, when I said that back a few years back, I get downvoted so bad, and I had no idea why. I'm like, what the fuck? This is how it works. It's like what happens is your computer doesn't like physically delete anything. It's what happens instead is that it marks that space on the drive. At least this is how a hard drive works. It marks the space on the drive where that thing is stored, and it says this is okay to write over. Like this is not. It doesn't need to be kept, but it doesn't like remove it physically, right? It just like marks it to be overwritten. That's why you can restore deleted data. That's why it's possible to do, because sometimes, a lot of the time, it doesn't actually delete. Most of the time it doesn't, unless what you're doing is you delete something and then start downloading a bunch of other stuff. Then it's very possible it's gonna be lost. They started having this discussion, which was part of the thing that I included in my thing, was like there are like programs out there to kind of like you know, reorganize your hard disk or like specifically wipe it, which I just think is an interesting thing to talk about.
Oh, we've got problems. We've flown to some kind of.
And they started mentioning that stuff, and they're all like,
we've got massive overloads in all systems.
all these upvotes, man. I got fucking crucified. I thought I must have been wrong. I was like, what did I get wrong?
Maybe a rough landing.
According to them, I was completely right. I don't know, you know. Anyways, that was just like, that was something I read on Reddit that was like weird. I was like, what the fuck? I don't know. Anyways, have you guys heard about this, the new Steam Deck? This is just like Final Fantasy X. Do you guys remember Final Fantasy X? I remember that game, and I think that game looks fucking beautiful. Like, doesn't that game still look like really good? Especially some of the CGI cut. Well, I don't know. They're dated now, but I remember that game looking beautiful. And especially with some other PS2 games I've played, like.
Karth. What's the matter? You're flying like you've been on
It's like a really good looking one.
Binge.
That disruptor field fried our stabilizers.
I really love that game. Anyways, the Steam Deck.
But if I can't find the salvage to make repairs,
I mean, especially that scene with him like waking up on the beach. And you explore what is it, Bell?
I noticed the hulls of many crashed ships scattered across
I forget what it's called.
landscape.
There's a Steam Deck. My friend's been talking about the Steam Deck all day. It's been announced.
Cathar's right. This planet's a technological graveyard. I
don't really get the appeal of it personally.
That disruptor field
like
must
kind
have
of
wiped them all out.
weird to me.
But where could it be coming from?
I'm like,
even if
why
we
are
get
people
the
so interested in
stabilizers
this?
fixed, we have to find and disable the source.
Like, I kind of get it. I kind of see the
before
appeal
we
of
can
like
take
having
off.
a portable,
Otherwise, we'll just end up
like
crashing
PC
again.
with like a controller attached. I wonder whether this ships.
They must have
I'm just
some
gonna
kind
say
of
whatever I
protection
said
against it,
before if I can
but
remember.
The Republic fleet won't. We have to find a way to disable that disruptor field, or the Sith
Yeah, I
will
just don't
swallow.
know. I don't know if I care. Because I know it's like kind of like a Switch, but for like a
T3's
Steam game.
picking up massive power fluctuations on the ship's sensors. They seem to
I don't know.
be
It's
coming
kind of
from some
interesting,
type
but
of
I'm like,
large
do I
stone
really
structure
care
to the
about this?
east.
I mean, I
It looks like
rarely
some kind of
play my
ancient temple.
Switch portably, anyways.
We haven't.
You know, so I'm
forgotten
like,
about it,
I don't
but
know if
we
I'd
can't
play
deal with
that.
much
Why wouldn't I
good
just
stuff
play my
down
PC?
here. We have to help
The only time I
ourselves
would play
before
that
we
is
can
like
help her.
if I was on vacation
I
or
only
something,
hope
but
we're
like
not too late. Bastila
I
has been
just
Nala's
don't
prisoner
know.
for a long time. If he can turn her to the dark
it doesn't
side,
happen
she
often
will
enough,
join
and I
them,
feel
and
like
the
last
Sith will
time,
be
because I was on
invincible.
vacation, I barely played my Switch. I barely did. So I'm like, I probably won't touch this thing, you know, if I get it.
She is strong in the force.
They're like all
but
excited
she's
about
also
it for some
impulsive,
reason.
willful,
I don't really get it
proud,
yet.
As you once were.
I feel like I'm missing something, but you know,
I'm glad to hear you say that. Now that you know your true identity,
whatever.
I was
It's
afraid
it's
you might
cool,
slip
I guess.
back
It doesn't
over
have an
to the dark
OLED
side.
screen,
If
I think, like
Bastila feels as you do,
but
there may yet be hope for
is
her.
what it is, I suppose.
Well, if Bastila's on the Starforge like you think, Jolie, then we can't rescue her until we disable that disruptor field. The sooner we investigate that temple to the east, the better. We can probably find the wreckage of a downed ship along the way. And if we're lucky, we can salvage some stabilizers from it to get off this planet.
I hope everything works out as smooth as you make it sound, Karth.
Me too, Mission.
Well, so do I, Mission. So do I.
All right. Now we're back where we were. Do you know anything about the planet we're on? I don't know much about the planets we visit, but I suppose I should learn. Oh yeah, he always says that. Make me some grenades? No. You have anything more to say about yourself? We already asked him all this stuff. Mission.
Hey there.
You know anything about the planet we're on?
How am I supposed to know anything about this planet? It's an uncharted world in an unexplored quadrant. I didn't even know this planet was here. didn't you come back here when you were the Dark Lord? If you don't remember anything about this place, then I guess we're just stumbling in the dark. Sorry I can't be more... Okay.
True. They haven't been able to make
Hey there.
anything for me in like a while.
Sorry.
HK-47. I'm gonna bring him with me, I think.
As you just
I'm gonna bring him and... Gosh, I don't know, Karth? Should I bring Karth? Karth's in a weird position, isn't he?
Yeah, what are you...
What are your thoughts now?
This thing with... Is there something
Alright, still doesn't have anything to say about it.
Hey, don't worry. A real... There anything...
Do you know anything about this
This
world?
world is... odd. It looks like a battlefield, but the environment here is lush and green. Whatever happened here was a long time ago. I have seen many strange worlds in my time, but this world is stranger still. I don't like this place. Something happened, or is happening here, and I don't like it. We should get out of here as soon as possible. You have anything else you want to ask? Hey, don't
Oh,
worry.
I already asked you
A
that.
real war. There anything else you need?
No.
Your choice.
Johanny,
How may I...
do you want
What
to talk?
is it you would like to speak?
Nothing.
Of course.
Got something on your mind, dude?
You make a healing kit.
How many? Ask me later.
Okay.
Got something on...
Know anything?
Hard to say what this planet is. Been lost for thousands of years, if not more. Smells like bad karma, so watch your step.
Okay.
And that's about all I got to say about that. Now, let's get going.
Alright. Let's talk to Karth.
Yes, what's on your mind?
Know anything about this place?
I don't really know much about this place. Sorry.
Okay.
You got it.
Alright, we gotta make a decision. Should I bring Johanny? Should I bring Karth? I feel like Karth is the one I should bring. I'm gonna bring HK-47 and Karth, I think. No. I don't know, because I brought Karth on Korriban. I almost want to bring someone else. Maybe I'll bring you. And maybe Zalbar? Gosh, I don't know. Handris, Mission. Johanny. I'll bring Johanny. Let's bring Johanny. And let's be on our way here. See what we find. Could be anything out here. But I have not used HK-47 much at all, so I definitely want to be bringing him. Alright. Here we are on the beach. Okay. I still don't really have many topics to talk about. They announced the... What's this? Oh, it's a Gizka. Why is there Gizkas? Gizkas, I believe, were the little frogs that, like, invaded our ship at that one point. They delivered me a bunch of Gizkas. And then we gave them to that guy on Manan. They announced like a Nickelodeon All-Stars game, I noticed. I thought that was kind of interesting. Yeah, it looks cool. I wonder if there's going to be a lot of like unlockable characters. I would hope so. I think that's the cool appeal of those types of games is like, oh, there's a bunch of unlockable characters. I remember I had this friend that lived down the street from me. And we used to play this, I think it was like a Tom and Jerry. He like loves Tom and Jerry. So he bought this like Tom and Jerry, like kind of like 3D fighting game. Who the heck are you? Are they gonna recognize me? I am Revan. Rakatan. They don't seem very happy that I'm here. Stasis. But it was like... It was really cool. And I was kind of surprised by how much I, like, thought, how cool I thought it was. Ow. Oh, I need to fix the sound. I forgot to do that. But there were a lot of, like, unlockable characters. You could unlock, like... And every time you would get a new one, it was, like, so exciting. At least at the time it was, you know? It was kind of, like, very similar to... like Smash Brothers, like Melee, I think, was the most recent game at the time. And so it was kind of like... It was like the same feeling of, like, unlocking characters in Melee, and you just get this, like, excitement, like, oh, a new character. You know, there's so many different ones. You defeated the murderous animals. We thank you, human, for saving us. Well, they attacked me first. If your arrival had not been so fortuitously timed, we would have been in great danger. We thank you again for saving us. Oh, what are you doing here? You crashed here when our mining survey vessel encountered some strange sort of energy field. It disrupted our engine and power system and forced us to make a crash landing on this world. Relatable. Our ship sank far out to sea, but a handful of us were able to make it to this island. More than you see here, though. Where are the rest of your companions? Many have been killed at the hands of the locals. A few tried to swim to one of the closer islands, but we have not heard from them in many days. Of the 10 of us who remained here, we 2 are the only remaining survivors. The native creatures killed the others? They attack any they come across. They are barbaric savages who feast upon the bodies of the dead. The only beings who crash here that can hold them off are the Mandalorians, and we dare not go near them. We know of their depredations too well. There are Mandalorians here? Yes, there are, more than you might think, although that may just be because they aren't killed as easily as we are. With their weapons, they raid and kill other survivors, and can fight off the natives as well. They seem to have some sort of invisibility or light cloaking shield that hides them until they strike. Where are they? They are north of here by a large temple structure. We dare not approach it, for they would surely kill us. We cannot delay here much longer. The longer we stay, the more likely either the Mandalorians or the natives will find us and kill us. Why don't you try to get to one of the other islands? I believe that would be the best choice. The others have not returned, but it may be because they could find no way to. It would be worth the risk rather than stay here and face certain death. I thank you one last time, human, for saving us. We shall remember you and hope that, should you escape, you will tell the Republic of those of us stranded here. Maybe I should have asked them to wait on our ship instead. I didn't, you know. They could have given me a reason why they shouldn't do that, but, you know, they didn't. So, hopefully they'll be okay. Now, since I've heard about Mandalorians, I'm kind of like debating whether I should bring... You know what? I think I do want to, because there could be some reason why there's Mandalorians here. You know? Well, hello. Sorry, that was a weird way to cut into a new recording. Just to say hello. Hello! Hi, everyone! How's everyone doing out there? How are you all doing? I could start. I don't know. What do I wanna get into? I guess I could talk about. I read a book. I finished a book a little while back. Oh, I did switch to Canderous, by the way, in case you were wondering if I was really gonna do that or not. I did. I actually did do that.
Master?
Oh shit, there's a lot of these guys.
What?
Yeah, so, I read a book called Shadows in Flight. It's like the 9th book in the Ender series. I think it's like the 9th, because they did the first 4 books, right? They did Ender's Game, and then Speaker for the Dead, then Xenocide, Children of the Mind, right? Then they did the Shadow series, which was another, so that was Shadow, Ender's Shadow, Shadow of the Hegemon, and then it was Shadow Puppets, and then Shadow of the Giant, right, I think? And then Shadows in no, then there was Ender in Exile. So it's 4, 5. So it's like the 10th book. It's like the 10th, like, full-length book, because then there's other, like, compilations of short stories and stuff that he did. And I've been reading this series since I was a kid. Like, since I was in middle school, I think is when I read Ender's Game. And I remember my friends being, like, talking about this series and how they had read the other books, and they were talking about all this stuff, and I was like, that sounds really cool. And because I happen to like my friends, and I happen to generally agree with their taste on things in pretty much everything. Like, most of the things I like were defined by them. I liked the same things that they liked. Those guys created me, you know? Like, they turned me into the person I am today. So, you know, musical taste mostly, and then that book series. Anime as well. We all watched this and ended up watching the same animes. Where do I go? There's 2 ways to go. We could go to North Beach, or we can go over here. I just want to catch the name of this place. Oh, fuck, I gotta walk all the way over there because I didn't catch it. Yeah, and I remember that, and I've been obsessed with this series ever since. And most people have probably read or at least heard of Ender's Game. It's a really good book to read, I think, but I really like the series after that, the kind of trilogy that takes place kind of post. We'll go to the temple exterior in a little bit. I want to go over the North Beach first, I think. Because the trilogy after gets real weird and philosophical and just really strange. And I like it a lot. Ender's Game is kind of a very straightforward story. But it's a very interesting story. And it's got, like, a pretty... Like, the ending is really good. Like, it's got a really, really good ending. I know a lot of people that don't even know that he wrote more books. He did, and they're all in the same series. So he did that one, and which kind of ends, that series kind of ends with Children of the Mind, and then he did, then he started the Shadow series, which kicks off with Ender's Shadow, which is basically Ender's Shadow takes place at the same place. I'm not going to spoil it. It takes place at the same time as Ender's Game. But it's from a different character's perspective, so it's exactly the same story. So you could almost read it instead of Ender's Game. I don't know if anyone's done that. That seems like a weird thing to do, but you could. But it follows the character Bean instead. Stay your weapons, interloper. We are not here for battle or blood. We bring you an invitation from the one great champion of the Rakata. You guys can speak? Rakata, the one? What are you talking about?
Hold on a second. You understood these goggle-eyed freaks? You must have come to this planet and learned the language back before the Jedi messed up your mind. Back when you were still Revan.
You've used strange magics and weapons to slaughter our raiding parties, interloper. You've bathed in the blood of fierce Rakatan warriors. Your power and skill in battle has impressed the One. He wishes an audience with you. A great honor. Come with us now, and we will take you to him. Who is the One? What's going on here? The One is the leader of our tribe, the great champion of the Rakata. He has feasted on the flesh of many foes. Come with us, and we'll take you to him now. Oh, this seems like a trap. Okay, take me to the One. Let's go. Let's see him. Let's see what he wants. I'll give him a shot. I'll give him a go. He thinks he can take me on. Headstrong. We'll take you on. Headstrong. We'll take on anyone. Is he? Oh man, look at this guy. Coming in like a. He's very cute. Revan. Somehow I knew we would meet again. Even when you vanished, I knew you would not forget the vow you swore to me. Uh-oh. And when my scouts told me of a great warrior from the skies slaughtering our raiding parties with mysterious powers and magics, I knew you had at last returned. I guess I slaughtered quite a few of you, but you know, I don't know, the news of that, it was 2 parties. I'm not Revan anymore. That part of me is gone. I'm Edith Katarn now. Your words are confusing. I recognize you. You are the one called Revan. You are the one who came here before, you and Malik, the one who served you. You promised to slay our enemy. In exchange for our aid, you swore to destroy the Elders and bring us their secrets. Are you saying this means nothing to you now? My mind was destroyed, my memories were lost. I believe you, Revan. I sense there is something different about you, something that has changed. You're not the same as you were before. Yet the power of magic, what you call the Force, is within you still. You can still destroy the Elders and fulfill your vow. What was this vow exactly? You vowed to kill the Elders and bring us the secret knowledge they protect. In exchange, we promised to use this lost knowledge to help you enter the Temple of the Ancients. When you vanished, we thought you had forgotten us or been killed by the Elders. Now that you've returned, our alliance still holds. Destroy the Elders and we will help you. Temple of the Ancients. I still don't remember anything. I suppose that if what you say is true, that you cannot remember what you were last here, then you must have many questions. Very well, Revan. I will help you to understand, and you will destroy the Elders tribe and fulfill the oath you swore to us long ago. You should probably start with the last time I was here. You arrived with Malik, your servant, 3 of your galactic standard years ago. My scouts saw your sky ship plummet to the earth, and they went to loot the crash site. They tried to take you prisoner, but you unleashed your magic, which you called the Force, upon them. Seeing your power, they bowed before you and brought you here to me. You used your power to rip the Rakata language from my mind, even as you drove Basic into our skulls so we could help you in your quest to find something called the Starforge. But the answers you sought lay within the Temple of the Ancients, and we could not help you enter the temple. The Elders alone hold its secrets, guarding them with their very lives. Huh. So was I not able to get into this ship? Into this temple? You say my ship crashed. Was it because of the disruptor field? I know nothing of this disruptor field, but throughout the history of our tribe, ships have fallen from the sky. It has always been this way, though in recent generations it has become more frequent. We have little understanding of such magic to make metal fly, but my scouts rush to take whatever we can carry from the crash sites in the hopes we may one day unlock these secrets. Oh gosh, they don't know how to fly ships. This was how we acquired our Rancor war beasts. Several very young specimens were recovered from a crashed vessel. We raised them to adulthood, training and breeding them to be loyal beasts of war. Okay. I need parts to repair my ship. That I cannot help you with. Although we have recovered many strange devices from the skyships that crashed to the Earth, their use is a mystery to us. As a show of good faith, I will allow you to search the stores of our tribe and take whatever you find. In exchange, I know you will destroy the Elders and bring the secrets they guard back to me. Tell me about the Temple of the Ancients. There's little I can tell you about the temple. I know the secrets of our ancestors are contained within, but the temple itself is barred to us. When last you were here, you and Malik sought to enter the temple. You sought ancient knowledge and a way to escape this world within its stone walls. But only the Elders know how to bypass the barrier that surrounds it. Destroy them and bring back their secrets to us, and we will help you enter the temple. That was our agreement. Tell me more about the Elders. The Elders guard the ancient secrets. Within their compound is the knowledge of power and magic, including the knowledge of how to enter the temple itself. I've lost many warriors storming the gates of their compound, but they use weapons of light and fire against us, and not even our war beasts are strong enough to breach their defenses. Sometimes we can capture an Elder when they venture forth from their compound, and we have learned something about them. That is how we know they guard the ancient secrets. But no matter what tortures we inflict upon them, they will not reveal their secrets to us. They fear the knowledge they themselves guard, and they will never willingly surrender it to us. I mean... I don't see any other choice, so I'll help you. The compound of the Elders is to the south, beyond the Temple of the Ancients. From torturing the few Elders we have captured, we know something of what lies beyond the gates. The Elders are few in number. If you can get past the exterior defenses, you could surely slaughter them all. Then you can bring us back the knowledge they guard. So where is this information? Is it in some kind of computer? Computer. That is a word our prisoners have used. When we forced them to explain it to us, they said this computer was some type of thinking machine. More magic we cannot understand. Before they died, some prisoners did speak of such a machine inside their compound, but I do not believe it has anything to do with the secrets they are trying to protect. Why do you think that? There was one prisoner, an Elder whose mind broke beneath our tortures. He raved of ancient rituals of lost power and forgotten secrets. Fortunately, most of his dying screams made no sense. Yet in his last hours he spoke of a book, an ancient tome that recorded the most powerful knowledge of the Elders, and detailed the rituals that could unleash the secrets. I am certain this ancient tome will allow me to unleash what has for so long been hidden by the Elders. Bring me this book and I will use the knowledge within it to help you enter the temple. I'll be back when I get that book. When you have it, bring it here to me. Until then, you may move freely about our village. I'll be waiting for your return. Yeah, this is odd. They're not really telling me anything. They're just... like, I don't know what these secrets are. He wants you to go to their compound and bring back an ancient tome. Okay. So that's what he's asking us to do. For whatever reason. Man, what if I just unlocked that? It would probably just kill me, honestly. I wanna try out some things here. See what we got. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. These guys don't seem on the up and up. I feel like helping them is probably not something I should do. Are they going to attack me if I steal from them? No, they're not. Well, I'm gonna take all your stuff then. Cool. Yes, I was reading, so I read this book. And, man, it's been a while since I've read this franchise. I remember, Speaker for the Dead through Children of the Mind seeming extremely, like, clever, extremely smart, but they were always, like, really easy to read for whatever reason. I just really enjoyed reading them. This one is kind of the same. It's, like, really easy to read for me. So I kind of like that about this series. But yeah. It's interesting, you know? So what does this do? It's stuck. Okay, well I guess that's all there is to the temple. Let me see if there's if I can equip any of this shit. Ooh. Damn. Oh, that's such a difficult choice. So it's either between that or the, oh, fuck, what was it? The Akani foil? Akani Vibroblade? No, the Akani Foil. 5 to 15, attack modifier plus 3. Oh, man. So this is 5-15, attack modifier plus 3. This is 4 to 14, attack modifier plus 2, but it also has plus 2 damage bonus. Sonic. I don't know. I think it's ultimately worse. I think we'll stick with the Akani Foil. But that means that we didn't really pick up anything that's immediately useful. I'd have to check my other characters. I don't know that I can switch them out immediately. Yeah, I can't, so that's what we're dealing with. Yeah, so one has said that we must let you aid yourself to what we may have so that you may overcome the elders. Yes, it's true. Issue. Where is there, like, stores they were talking about? Oh, was that it? Was it just a bunch of baskets? Was that all the stuff that they said I could have? Okay, well, they just kind of gave it to me, so I don't really need to do anything for them. The promise is that I'll go kill the elders and then they'll help me get into the temple, but why would I really need them to help me get into the temple, you know? Like, what do I, if these elders are gonna tell me how to get into the temple, I don't need them to get me in. You know, I get nothing out of this deal. Unless it's like, I need some sort of combative help. I need like an army to get in. I don't know. That's the only reason I would think I would need them. It's just kind of weird, you know? It's kind of a bunk deal. They gave me information already. They gave me the stuff I needed. I don't need anything else from them. Anyways, yeah. So I've been reading this series for a long time. And the last one I read was Ender in Exile before this. And I thought it was okay for what it was, because it was basically... Does anyone want to kill me yet? He made this, like, interquel. It was basically supposed to be... It tied into some of the short stories that he wrote. Like, something... something prospect. It was a short story that was written that was kind of like there's a couple short stories. There's like the Golden Bug. There's the Polish Boy. I think the Polish Boy might be the one about the one I can't remember if it's the one about Ender's parents. There's one that was about his parents. I think they actually put that one in Ender in Exile. They put a bunch in Ender in Exile, and they actually tied the Prospects one into Ender in Exile because they brought those characters back to be part of this plot. Because basically it takes place after Ender's Game, in between Ender's Game and Speak Over the Dead. But ultimately the plot ends up kind of being pointless. And Ender, we know he doesn't go through much development until later, so he's just kind of moody in this whole situation. So he's not a very likable character in this. He's kind of just moody and sad and grumpy. And then you've got these two other characters who their whole plot is that they're trying to... Like, one of them is the younger daughter, and she's trying to get with Ender, and then the mom is trying to get with the captain of the ship. And basically their plan is that once they land, because Ender is supposed to be given this colony, basically given to be mayor of the colony. The thing is, they're traveling at light speed, or close to it, so they're facing relativistic time discrepancies. So by the time they get there, everybody who appointed Ender to that position is going to be long dead, and it's just so nobody is really around that can kind of like enforce that from a distance. So the captain of the ship thinks he's gonna get one over on Ender, and he's like, you know, I'm already the leader of this ship. I'm already driving this ship. So let me hold on. Sorry, I'm running around doing nothing. Greetings, Revan. I'm Jarshi, the lore master of our tribe. I'm the keeper of our histories and chronicler of the conquest of the One. I am not Revan anymore. I am Edith Katarn. Your life has been defined by your identity, Revan, your fate. If you no longer wish me to call you this, then I shall not. But you cannot change who you are. You're right. A person decides their own fate. As you will. I know better than to argue with you when you have set your mind to something. Do you not hate me for leaving your people before? It does not matter to me what path you chose. Choose. History flows in mysterious ways, and my task is only to witness and remember which course it takes. Your actions then, as now, are memories to be passed on to future generations. When you are dead and gone, your memories shall remain with us. Can you tell me of the history of your people? What of our people would you like to know? Tell me how your people came to be. In the times before our most ancient histories, there was nothing you could call the Rakatan people. There were unintelligent proto-Rakata wandering the surface of this world. Spawned from the womb of this world, they were gifted with the brilliance of thought, but not tempered with the wisdom to use it. When the gods of the sky first spoke to them, the ground shook and heaved, and fires raced across the surface of the world. They fled beneath the ground to escape the calamity and dwelled there for some time. At last, the gods spoke to them in dreams of the surface and the light. They re-emerged from the ground and found the land much changed around them. Gone were the plains and valleys they had known. Instead, there were islands stretching across the breadth of the world. The world had been remade for them by the gods of the sky, and they gave thanks in fear and gratitude. Tell me how your people came to be. Oh. You already said this. Yes. Okay. Yep. Uh-huh. Tell me of the gods you mentioned. The world is ruled by the gods of the earth and sky, both living and dead. When the sky gods remade the world, the gods of the earth who had sheltered and protected the Rakata were gone. Whether dead or asleep, they have not been heard from again. Nor do the gods in the sky listen to our pleas any longer, although we can still see their lights gleam in the heavens. So we mortal Rakata are left here to our own devices to make the future we demand for ourselves. Tell me of your first civilizations. Back in the days of the First Awakening, when our people rose from the ground and brought the light of civilization to our new world, our people spread far and wide across all the island. Among these peoples, there were some that rose to greatness on the largest islands. Rakatans of vision and forethought who built great monuments to themselves and their leaders. But these cultures did not know their true strengths. They did not draw upon the knowledge of their past to feed their present. Of course, these cultures, with their centers of learning and their great temples, collapsed in riots and chaos, burning their cultures from the world in an orgy of violence. Wow. It was 1,000 years of darkness before the light of First Empire rose upon the blood of the past. Tell me of your First Empire. When the first civilizations of our people destroyed and chaos and anarchy sweeping the islands, it seemed that a time of darkness had descended upon us that would never end. But a strong nation of survivors yet endured. On one of the smaller islands near the equatorial regions, they had not forgotten the oldest traditions. Those learned from the gods of the earth while we dwelt beneath the surface. Taking the knowledge of their elders and passing their wisdom and skills on to the next generation by eating their flesh, they built a culture unrivaled throughout history. Greater even than your vaunted republic. For millennia this empire stood, uniting the many islands of our world into one cohesive whole. Each generation passing its strength on to the one that followed. But fate was unkind to these great Rakata. These first ones of our kind to rise above savagery and create a true lasting civilization. Tell me what happened to the First Empire. Our skin had been hardened and turned black from the time our people spent beneath the surface. But always at the fringes of society there were rumors. Rumors of those of other colors who survived above the surface while we dwelt below. We can pinpoint no direct cause for the collapse of the First Empire, but it was swift and total. What had taken centuries to build and was maintained for thousands of years disappeared within 10, perhaps 20 years. From the ancient cities we have examined, there was much fighting and death, as well as fires that burned bright and hot enough to melt the stones of their palaces to glass. Also, in scattered fragments and records, we have heard of a people being found, a people unlike the Rakata but taking our form, who waged a monumental war that tore civilization apart. What this war was, or who those beings were, we do not know, but they are the demons of our legends now. We believe them to be gone, wiped out in that vast conflagration. We cannot know for sure. Okay. What happened after the collapse of the First Empire? Our civilization lapsed back into savagery. We were no longer the great people of centuries past. Brother turned on brother, tribesman on tribesman, until all fought and sought to destroy each other. The legacy of the final war and the collapse that came after it still echo with us today. We are still a fractured people. Many tribes dwell on these islands, warring with each other constantly. Each seeks to grow its own strength, absorbing that of its enemies through their flesh cut down in battle. But none has been strong enough to exert their influence over more than a handful of islands. Until now, that is. We are now in the midst of a great war of reformation, of reclamation. Tell me of the War of Reformation. Before, none were strong enough to bind together the tribes and unite them towards a common goal, but that changed. Now we do have a leader, and under him we have swept across the islands, conquering all who have stood before us. This leader, is it the One? Over the last 20 years, we have conquered over 100 islands, both large and small. The One has led us to victory where none have before, further strengthening us with the blood of our enemies. We have subjugated many tribes as well, their warriors joining ours in our great crusade. Recently, things have not gone so well. More and more outsiders fall from the sky and kill our people. More and more tribes resist us or even rebel. It has taken a great part of our strength to resist, but under the One we shall prevail. Nothing shall stop him from forming the Senket Empire. How many islands have you conquered? Okay. Okay, he was gonna say the same thing no matter what. I just wanted to make sure. Okay. What's the One doing here then? We heard of the temple on this island, the Temple of the Ancients. A building the like of which has not been seen anywhere else. A place of great power, it was reputed, with great guardians as well. The One came here with an army to see this temple and seize it for our cause, but we were met with strange and powerful magics which have defeated us at every turn. So now the One sits here and broods on his troubles, listening only to the messengers who bear his orders to all corners of his territory. If only the riddle of the temple could be solved and its guardian elders removed, then he would consume their flesh and knowledge and bring unity to our people. It is my sincere hope as well that you can help us with our great task. I'm thinking about it. Tell me of the One. The great story of the One would take many days to tell in its entirety. It is my specialty, of course. What would you like to know of his great story? Tell me how he was raised. Born to poverty, raised in a hovel with no elders to guide him and share their strength with him, he had nothing to rely on but himself. But in his weakness, he was uniquely destined for strength and the burdens it carries with him. Oh, this is a very inspirational story. Even in his youth, it was obvious that the One who was destined for greatness. When but a youngling, he defeated one of the strange blue-armored warriors the Mandalorians, who fell from the sky and feasted upon him. The respect from his battle gave him the step he needed to go forward on a path that has led him ever upward since. Tell me of how he came to power. By adulthood, the One was held in awe by those of his tribe as both a warrior and a leader. When he challenged the chieftain of his tribe, no one doubted that he would prevail. The chieftain could see, and knowing that the One would bring the tribe into greatness, offered himself up without a fight. The tribe fed well and was stronger for his sacrifice. Under the leadership of the so are they are just saying they're cannibals. It's not like a symbolic thing, eating each other. Under the leadership of the One, his tribe conquered all others on the island, capturing, subduing their warriors, feasting on the chieftains, growing his own army at the same time. He was truly a force that could not be stopped, a leader unlike any we have seen in our history. He will be the one to unite us all. Tell me of his conquests. After he had conquered his own island and his army had grown to a large size, he turned his eyes towards the nearest other islands in the archipelago. Is it archipelago? With each island that fell to him, his army grew stronger, his wisdom greater with each chief given up to him, and his vision of a future for our people brighter. Before long, he had conquered every island in a month's sailing and had armies expanding in every direction. It seemed that nothing would stand against him then. But we heard of the Temple of the Ancients here on this forgotten island at the edge of the true sea, and the One was intrigued. It was a place of power, to be sure, and none could doubt its significance. Driven by portents and omens, we came to this island with 1,000 of his finest warriors, and here we stay. We cannot leave while the temple stands unopened, but we cannot enter while the elders stand against us. And the one sits each day, brooding on the fact that has led us to this impasse. I see. I'd like to know something else. What about people would you like to know? I think I'm done, actually. I must go. If you must, I shall remain here as I always do, listening to those who wish to speak and remembering. Oh wow, I got a bunch of experience points for that for some reason. I don't really know why. That was very enlightening. I felt like I learned a lot from that. So they're kind of like very empirical, like cannibal warriors. Just kind of want to overtake, grow, take over other tribes. They're a little barbaric. A little barbaric. That's okay. But it doesn't really make me want to help them too much. So we'll see. I have to go talk to these elders and figure out what it is they're doing. They say that they use strange magics, which, in my opinion, kind of leads me to think they might be Jedi. And they would be distinctly hard to kill if they were Jedi. You know, it'd be hard for these guys to take on the Jedi, is what I'm saying. So if they're having trouble with them, then I think that might be likely. Oh, there's like a little glitch on the menu thing, isn't there? It's kind of odd. I just wanted to talk to him again. I've given you free reign within our camp. Take whatever supplies. I want to ask you some questions. Answering questions is the work of Garshi, our lore master. Seek him out if you wish to know of our tribe. But I'll answer no more questions. Time for questions is done. You must fulfill your promise. Okay. When you have it, bring it here to me. Alright. So he has nothing more to tell us. I don't know. I just wanted to see. Yeah, alright, whatever. We're gonna go talk to them, see what we can find out about them. I don't really think I'm gonna kill them, probably. But if the only way to get into that temple is through this whatever they know, then I think that's necessary. Assuming I do want to get into that temple, don't I? I mean, I can't really think of any other goal I would have here, except to get into that temple. So yeah, I guess I'll continue talking. Yeah, Ender in Exile was kind of like I don't know why he did it. I think he just wanted to make another Ender story. I don't know, tie in some of the short stories a little bit more. And there wasn't a book that took place right there. Like, we kind of needed that a little bit, I think. Because that story was never really told. So, I found it, understandable thing to do. Place to write a story, but it was book length, so it was a whole book. But it did feel rather pointless by the end of it. I'm like, yeah, I guess we didn't really need that story. It's just okay, whatever. I'm not mad about it, but it's definitely not one of the best books. But I really liked the Shadow series. I liked the original Ender series, but I think I liked the Speaker for the Dead through Children of the Mind. I think I already said this. I like that trilogy a little bit better, I think, because their books are more clever. I like some of the other characters that they bring in. It just gets fucking weird by the end of it, and I really love that. And I think some of the relationships and some of the chemistry between the characters is really well done. Which I think is one of the issues that we get into in the Shadow series, is that some of the relationship dynamics and the stuff they do there is very awkward in how it's done. Now, I get it, because I don't know. I think about this series and I'm like, you know, I always thought the author was like really, really smart. These books are really clever. And so I highly respected them. And now I'm like thinking about these now and I'm like, were the past books just not as clever as I thought they were, or like are these books like a little bit worse in some aspects? Because I do think he's gotten a little bit like, no, he's kind of always been this way where he likes to write things in a logical sense. This is the way he thinks about things. Is all of his characters, a lot of them are really smart. They're like super geniuses, is what they're supposed to be. So when they think about something, it's always in practical terms. They would never apply like a purely emotional response to something. They would always think about it and apply whatever the best, most logical thing to do is. A lot of them are kind of like, they're kind of just like Spock characters in some ways. Sometimes they're like